Hi, everybody. My name is Melinda Person, and I am the president of New York State United Teachers. I work for you, and I am super excited to be putting this little video together to tell you about all that we have accomplished this year and to thank you on behalf of all of our members for your advocacy in helping us accomplish all the different pieces of legislation that we got done this year. Fix Tier 6. One of the big wins we had this year was the next step in our campaign to fix Tier 6. We got final average salary changed, and that is a signal to our Tier 6 members out there that this is that we're on the way. For a member that's in Tier 6, the calculation of their final average salary would have been for the last 5 years of their career. And now it will be for the last 3 years of their career, which is the same as Tier 4. And what that means in practical terms is thousands of dollars a year in every year of their retirement. Across the state, NYSUT members held events to bring attention to retirement tier equity. And in the spring, hundreds turned out to the Capitol to rally to fix Tier 6. Next up, we are going to tackle the contribution rates and making sure that we don't have members that are paying up to 6% of their salary for the tail end of their career. APPR is an issue I've been working on for 14 years, as have NYSUT leaders and our membership. This is something that took a lot of negotiations with all the different stakeholders in the education community. This bill is all about restoring the joy to teaching and learning in our classrooms. And when we get away from this test and punish approach and the shame and blame when students don't perform well on tests, we can restore that joy back to our classrooms. The fight for foundation aid. So when the executive budget came out back in January, we were all a little surprised to see that foundation aid was not fully funded and in fact was cut. And so we immediately jumped into action and we traveled the state, visited over 100 schools and talked to district leaders and parents and everyone that we could think of, legislators on both sides of the aisle, to raise up the great things that are happening in our public schools and encourage the legislature to restore the proposed cuts. And we live to fight another day because this issue will be back, but we feel prepared to advocate again next year. I was joking that there's one thing that Republicans and Democrats in Albany can agree on, and it was that they love New York's great public schools. When they came together to fight for the schools, it was a beautiful thing to see, and that's why we were so successful. Extreme heat in schools. It took us taking this fight right to the schools and to the legislators. What we did was we brought legislators into a hot school, and then this year we had this great idea of bringing a sauna tent down to the state capitol so that we could bring the heat to our Senate and Assembly colleagues. It worked. We have had on our website for many years a tool for them to advocate, to send us their stories, real life situations where kids have been taken out because of heat exhaustion and other health issues. We told the real life stories of what it's like to be in a hot classroom, and that helped to push this over the edge. Social media safety. So one of the bills has to do with banning the use of addictive algorithms in social media feeds of minors. And the other one prevents the big tech companies from monetizing or profiting off of selling children's data. And just last week, both of these landmark social media safety bills were signed into law. These are the first bills of this kind in the nation, so it's something that New York can really be proud of, that we are leading the way on these issues. Toileting and diapering. The toileting and diapering legislation that we pursued really came out of our rank and file membership, raising this up as an issue of concern, not only for them in terms of making sure that they have the proper PPE to protect themselves when they're involved with toileting and diapering, but also concerns about how they protect the dignity of their students when they are involved in this as well. This bill was a major focus on SRP Lobby Day, where our SRP members came to the Capitol to talk directly to lawmakers about their issues. So The legislation that has passed both houses will require the state education department to put out some uniform standards and regulations so that there's no guessing about how this is supposed to work in our schools. IDA reform. IDAs are these entities that are created by local governments to encourage businesses to move into your particular town or municipality. So it seems like that this is a good economic development tool. The problem is that these entities are essentially taking away property tax revenue from our school districts. The bill that we got passed this year specifically adds a representative of the school district and a labor representative to the IDA board. They won't be able to just forego property tax revenues at school without having somebody there to weigh in. Our members truly care about the people that they serve and their students. This is something that they can feel good about, that they advocated for their students. And so we fight to preserve that public education system because we care about New York, we care about our communities, and we fight for them in any way that we can. To you, our members, I want to thank you for everything that you have done this year. Together, we got a lot accomplished, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you for everything you do, and have a great summer. For a complete list of our victories, visit nysut.org/victories.